Hey everyone, Matthew here. Welcome back to the channel, and a very happy Friday to you all. Today is December 12, 2025, and this is your Daily Nasdaq Futures Recap, the show where we break down every major move and every single trade our algorithmic system executed throughout the session. So, let's not waste another second and jump right into the action. Market news and landscape. It was a very light day on the macroeconomic front, which often leads to a technical, range-bound market. The only scheduled catalyst was a speech from Chicago Fed President Austan Goolsbee at 10:35 a.m. No major tech earnings were slated for after the closing bell, leaving traders to focus purely on price action and momentum. Overnight session. The week began with an immediate test of sentiment. Right out of the gate, the Nasdaq futures market dipped sharply. Our robot, reading the initial sell-side momentum, entered a short position at the open. This was a classic fade the reopen play, and it was closed shortly after for a conservative early profit. The remainder of the overnight session was quiet and orderly. As Asian markets came online, price action was muted, with the Nasdaq hovering in a tight range around the 25,600 level, signaling a clear lack of direction. Morning session, European and U.S. Open. The tempo picked up with the London Open. The European session provided some initial support, holding the market firm. However, right at 4:00 a.m., we saw another wave of selling pressure. Our system identified the breakdown and entered another short position. This trade ran perfectly, capturing the down move and closing for a profit around 7 a.m. Our realized profit for the day now stood at $171. At 8:30 a.m., with no major economic data to disrupt the flow, the market was churning, still searching for direction. Our robot capitalized on the indecision with a lightning-fast scalping short trade, adding a few more dollars to the tally. The 9:30 a.m. U.S. cash open brought the expected volatility. The market fluctuated as the broader cash market digested the week's flows. Notably, the AI megacap segment was under pressure, with Nvidia briefly touching a low of 17.521. This weakness dragged the Nasdaq futures lower, and our robot, aligning with the prevailing trend, executed another short trade that was promptly closed for a profit. Afternoon session and close. As is often the case on a Friday, the afternoon saw energy drain from the market. It was a typical pre-weekend drift. Liquidity thinned out, and price action became quiet and range-bound. However, into the final hour and closing bell, we got one last dip. Our system was alert, making a couple of precise scalping trades that locked in a net $197 in profit from this late move. It immediately followed up with one final short entry, bringing the day's total realized profit to a clean $201. After horror session, the quiet theme continued post-close, with no earnings reports to stir the pot. That wrapped up a very active and successful trading week for our system. Summary and weekly wrap-up. So, to summarize, today was a quiet, technically driven Friday. Trading was thin as most participants were winding down for the weekend. In these conditions, our robot focused on high-probability, momentum-based setups, securing a net profit of $201 for the session. And for the weekly performance, total realized profit for the week, $2,029. A fantastic result, especially considering it was a Fed week packed with volatility and major economic events. Our system navigated the noise with discipline. A huge thank you for tuning in to today's recap. You all have an amazing and relaxing weekend. Recharge, because we'll be back at it on Monday. I'm Matthew, and I'll see you right here next week. for the next edition of the Nasdaq Futures Recap. Take care.